It's a product review. It's a half-assed product review. It's a product review. It's a crappy product review. It's a product review. It's a half-assed product review. I don't really know what the hell I'm doing. Product review. Okay, so I've had this a few days now. We're going to try some actual proper comparisons between the Action 4 and the Action 5. So I have bought this double mount thingy here. Currently you're getting sound from the Osmo Pocket 3, but I will be connecting a microphone probably to the Action 5 just for sound purposes later on. We're going to basically be doing a comparison of these two cameras in terms of image quality. Now, I'm not a professional reviewer. I just like gadgets. I'm just going to turn them on here. See, already you can see that on the Action 5, the screen takes up the whole of the back, and here it's kind of cropped. Also, when you're charging this, you don't get this kind of flashing green pip indicator. You actually get a proper charging percentage on here as well. Now, I do currently have some lens protectors on here. Just going to unlock the front screens, and we're just going to have a look and see how they compare. Okay, so for the first part of my half-assed comparison, I've set the Action 4 and the Action 5 to the same video settings. So we're in video mode for both. We are on 4K 60 rock steady here and 4K 60 rock steady here. So basically we will run we'll do some recording in a sec, and we'll run a comparison in kind of daylight conditions, just so that you can get a sort of direct comparison. For what it's worth, I know YouTube's going to shrink down the image and all that kind of thing and probably make it look terrible, but yeah, well, we'll try it anyway, shall we? Why the hell not? Okay, so this is the Action 4. This is the Action 5. So I'm just doing some indoor comparisons first of all. So we're shooting at 4K 60 rock steady. Already I think you can see that the Action 5 is brighter and has kind of much lighter colours than the 4. Not too much difference here. We'll try this again in a sec in this sort of ultra low light settings. What I will say is that to my eyes, the Action 4, the colours appear to be more real. So what I mean is they appear to be real life colours, right? So basically what I'm seeing in the image on the screen of the Action 4 is exactly the same as what I'm seeing in reality. It's very similar. On the Action 5, it's enhanced, okay, so it's much brighter. I'm not saying it's wrong, but I'm saying that the colours don't look exactly the same to me on the screen as they do in reality. I can't really explain that anymore. Here's Time Machine. Hello, Time Machine, how are you? He doesn't know which camera to look at, so he's looking at them both. All right, how are you? You're a good boy, yes you are. And we're going to go through the house. Let's have a look at this light. So you're getting a lot more detail on the Action 5 than you are on the Action 4. On the Action 4, the colour's looking a little bit washed out. On the Action 5, you can actually see more detail in the sort of lamp itself, which is interesting. Going through into the kitchen, looking pretty much the same. A bit brighter now. So obviously we've got a window, well not obviously, but we've got a window up there. I would say there's a bit more resolution coming out looking through the skylight window. Turning back around, yeah, definitely lighter on the Action 5, and this is without the ultra low light settings activated, right? So I'm going to look out here and let's look at the garden, shall we? So yeah, I'm seeing more detail in the cloud. The clouds on the Action 4, a little bit washed out. I would say the greens are slightly more accurate on the Action 5. On the Action 4, they look a bit too green, if there is such a thing. I'm getting more detail in the clouds on the 5 in this instance. And lastly, let's force you to look at my ugly mug. Just going to switch the screens here. And there we go. So interestingly, on the Action 5, I'm kind of seeing like a letterbox kind of display. On the Action 4, it's full screen. I don't know whether that's a setting that I can change. All sound, incidentally, is coming from the Action 5 via the DJI Mic 2. But I'm not expecting there to be any difference there at all. So I am just going to stop this footage here, and in a minute we're going to try some tracking. Okay, so I've now got subject tracking turned on. Now what I can see is on the screen of the Action 5 is I can actually see that I am highlighted, and obviously there's no gimbal, so the camera itself can't move, but as I move it is actually focusing on me. Now I'm going to check this obviously when we replay the footage in a sec, but I'm going to make an assumption here that it's actually keeping me in focus, whereas with the 4 I'm not quite so sure. It should be okay, but if I go over here, I think it's still tracking me as far as I can see with my poor eyesight, but yeah, definitely keeping me there. What I don't know is whether or not it's actually cropping the frame to kind of move with me. It'll be interesting to see that in just a minute. But again, you can see on the Action 5 I'm seeing it much lighter. This time I think this is a more natural colour. This looks bluer and looks, I don't know, yeah, that's more natural. I think that's definitely a better picture on the 5. On the 4, it's not a bad picture, but it's not as bright and it's looking a little bit washed out. So that's what's happening there. What we're going to do in a sec now is the next test we're going to do is we're going to wait until it gets a little bit darker, and we're going to try the ultra low light settings and see exactly how it differs there. All right. Hey, so excuse me, it is actually pouring down with rain. The first test I'm going to do here is the same settings as before. So we're on 4K 60 rock steady on both of these devices, so you can get a direct comparison of how they compare in low light without turning on the ultra low light settings from the Action 5 Pro, which is something we're going to do in a minute. I just really want it to stop raining, if I'm honest with you. Okay, and here we are now with ultra night turned on the 5 Pro, with the same 4K 60 rock steady setting on the Action 4. Now looking at the screens here, on the Action 4 I can't actually see much of my face in the screen, but on the Action 5 Pro I definitely can. So let me just try walking around a bit so you can see what it looks like without trying to break my neck. Be interesting to see how this comes out on the camera. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick these up now, and I'm going to transfer my viewing to the back. Come on. There we go. Right. And we'll just do, so there's the house. Just do a little bit of walking around. There's the sky. Do 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 do. I would go for a proper walk, but I'll be honest with you, it's been absolutely hacking it down with rain. Which is also why I'm going to have to find some footage from a previous car journey to do a car comparison, because I'm not going for a drive in this weather. That's not happening. So, was that any good? I don't know. I'll find out once I get it onto the computer, yeah? Now, one genuine scenario for me, at least in a sort of low light scenario, is that I do quite a lot of shooting in my car because I'm doing pieces to camera or I'm filming the traffic or what have you from the car. And what I have noticed is the Action 5 did perform better than the 4 when I was actually in the car doing pieces to video. I'm going to put a couple of sort of comparison shots up now just so that you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. Now, a couple of other observations here. Firstly, I have noticed that the Action 5 Pro seems to download quicker than the 4. The 4 always downloaded a little bit slow for me compared to the Osmo Pocket 3, and they seem to have fixed that a little bit with this. The other thing that I really appreciate, and obviously I'm slightly biased here because I am significantly bought into the infrastructure, is that I very much appreciate that the Action 5 Pro has exactly the same form factor in terms of dimensions, the cage, etc., that it allows me to use the existing devices to clip this into for when I'm shooting in different locations, as you'll see in this little montage I've put together right now. Now the other thing, when I unboxed this, I thought maybe the lens looked a bit bigger. Turns out there was basically a rubber kind of grippy sort of gasket around here, which I have removed in order to be able to install these. And in fact, both the lenses appear to be identical. They are both f2.8. They are 1/1.3. And they both have a FOV of 155 degrees. So the lenses appear to be the same. As I said when I unboxed this and earlier in this video, the screens are slightly bigger, okay, or at least the back screen is slightly bigger. This one on the 4, as we see, it's cropped. On this one, as we saw earlier, it is full screen. So the question is really, is it kind of worth upgrading? This is a perfectly serviceable camera and I will continue to use it. But as we have seen, this one seems to do significantly better in low light. But that said, between the two of them, I'm not really sure there's much to sort of compare. If you've only recently bought an Action 4, I probably wouldn't rush out and buy an Action 5. I might wait until the next one comes out because there's not really much difference between the two. I fancied buying one because I like gadgets. I thought I could do a review, and also I can definitely have a use for 2 action cameras because, as you'll see in my car, I've got a mounting place, one forward, one back, so I can definitely use 2. If you are going to upgrade from this one, this will work with all your existing accessories, so you can do what I did and just buy the standalone camera on its own. You'll get the cage, you'll get 1 battery. The batteries are compatible between the 2, so you know, you don't have to worry about buying one of those combo packs. Now, as it happens, it's not here at the moment, I did also separately buy the multifunctional charging handle, but I bought it before I bought this. Probably should have waited and bought them as a bundle really, but the multifunctional charging handle will also work with both of these cameras. So I like it. I like the low light performance. As we've seen, when I'm in my car, that's a kind of genuine use case scenario, right, for low light situations. So I can see this being quite useful. Thanks very much for watching this episode of Total Ramblings and my half-assed product review.
If you enjoy what I do here, although I can't think why, please remember to click the like button, smash that subscribe button, and hit the bell icon to be notified whenever I post a new video. You might also want to check out my website, www.worldsbestestpoet.com, if you fancy a laugh.